The Turing Awards were announced last month. What can we learn from the Turing Award winners that applies to our daily lives? Turing Award honors reinforcement learning pioneers Barto and Sutton. The duo's innovative ideas greatly influenced the success of AI models like Google DeepMind's AlphaGo, which really was the seminal event that triggered a breakthrough in AI, because AlphaGo beat the world Go champion in the hardest game there is. Barto and Sutton's contributions to reinforcement learning, once considered unconventional, more on that in a minute, have now become instrumental in various industries, from robotics to finance, highlighting the enduring relevance of their work. Having machines learn from experience was once considered a dead end. It's now critical to AI. In the 1980s, Andrew Barton and Rich Sutton were considered eccentric devotees to an elegant but ultimately doomed idea, or so people thought, having machines learn. Barto, a professor emeritus at UMass Amherst, and Sutton, a professor at the University of Alberta, trailblazed a technique known as reinforcement learning. This is experimentation combined with either positive or negative feedback. Reinforcement learning was perhaps most famously used early on by Google DeepMind in 2016 to build AlphaGo, a program that learned for itself, which most AI reasoning models today can do. This demonstration sparked new interest in the technique, which has gone on to be used in advertising, optimizing data center energy use, finance, and chip design. The approach also has a long history in robotics. More recently, reinforcement learning has been crucial to guiding the output of LLMs and producing extraordinarily capable chatbot programs. The same method is being used to train AI models to mimic human reasoning and to build more capable AI agents. This is the reasoning models that are relatively new in release. The methods used to guide LLMs involve humans providing goals rather than an algorithm learning purely through its own exploration. He says having machines learn entirely on their own may ultimately be more fruitful. So what he's saying is we're not quite there yet, but getting closer. That, by the way, might be the definition of AGI. An AI that can learn entirely on its own with zero input. So many of you know Jeff Dean as a senior VP at Google AI. He says the tools they developed remain a central pillar of the AI boom and have rendered major advances. So reinforcement has a long and checkered history within AI. It was there at the dawn of the field when Alan Turing suggested that machines could learn through experience and feedback in his famous 1950 paper, Computing Machinery and Intelligence. Arthur Samuel, an AI pioneer from IBM, by the way, used reinforcement learning to build one of the first machine learning programs, a system capable of playing checkers, in 1955. Barton, Sutton, and others persevered, however, drawing inspiration from work in biology and psychology. They also borrowed insights from neuroscience. Barton and Sutton's work is not a stepping stone that we have now moved on from, said the president of the group that awards the Turing Awards. They made reinforcement learning practical, including policy gradient methods, a core way for an algorithm to learn how to behave, and temporal difference learning, which allows a model to learn continually. From the early days, Barto says it was clear that systems could exhibit aberrant or unwanted behavior. See very last video. Barto says the potential of AI and reinforcement learning for developing scientific solutions to climate change and other big problems make the approach vitally important. If used with caution, it can be extremely helpful, he says. So what are the big things we can learn from this award? Number one, the foundational things in AI, just like Jeff Hinton's work, took 30 years to mature. but are profoundly impacting society now. Number 2, reinforcement learning is the effort to mimic human reasoning, which is now coming to fruition in AI models, particularly the modern LLMs of the last 2.5 years and chatbots. Eventually, this will lead to AI that can entirely learn on its own, which I personally would call an AGI. Next, for those of you who have had an idea and get a lot of negative feedback from the environment, the people who ignore it, like Hinton, Barton, and Sutton, who persevered under intense criticism, have changed the world. That is probably the most important career lesson guidance you could ever be given. And finally, Barto says, and if I said Barton a minute ago, excuse me. Finally, Barto says it was clear that systems could exhibit aberrant and unwanted behavior. As I talked about in the very last video, it's safe to say that AI is now becoming dangerous. It is becoming deceptive. It can tell you what you want to hear. That is so not good and needs serious intervention in what's happening now, but we will not see that. And therefore, we're going to see adverse societal outcomes from all this. Without a doubt. So I just told you what it means, and I gave you the most profound career advice you could ever get. And I didn't come up with that. All the top personal improvement people online for the last many years have said the same thing. So thanks so much for watching this video. If you like it, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, please support us on Patreon. Your support allows us to continue to grow the channel and to bring resources that will be critical to surviving the age of AI. Watch my short from 2 days ago for what is going to happen. Didn't come from me, comes from someone at the epicenter of this whole AI boom. So thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.